Hello, and welcome to this expanded exploration of the history of Connecticut, one of the original 13 American colonies. From its indigenous roots and colonial struggles to its prominent role in the American Revolution and its transformation during the Industrial Revolution, Connecticut's story is one of resilience and innovation. Let's take a deeper look at the events, people, and eras that shaped the state into what it is today. Section 1. The Native American Era. Before European settlers arrived, Connecticut was home to several Native American tribes, including the Pequot, Mohegan, and Niantic tribes. These tribes practiced sustainable agriculture, primarily focusing on the cultivation of corn, beans, and squash, known as the Three Sisters. They were also expert hunters and fishermen, maintaining a delicate balance with nature. The Pequot were the most dominant tribe, controlling much of the region's trade, especially in wampum, which was highly valued among tribes for trade and ceremonial purposes. However, the arrival of Europeans disrupted this balance and eventually led to conflict. Key event: the Pequot War, 1636 to 1638, was a turning point in Connecticut's early history. The war was sparked by escalating tensions between the Pequot tribe and the growing English presence in the Connecticut River Valley. In 1637, English settlers allied with the Mohegan and Narragansett tribes attacked the Pequot at Mystic Fort, killing hundreds of men, women, and children. This massacre and subsequent actions nearly eradicated the Pequot tribe, shifting the balance of power and opening the way for further English settlement. Section 2. The Founding of Connecticut and Early Colonial Life. In the early 1630s, Dutch and English explorers both claimed parts of what is now Connecticut. However, it was the English who established permanent settlements. In 1633, Windsor became Connecticut's first English settlement, followed by Wethersfield in 1634, and then Hartford, which was founded by Thomas Hooker in 1636. These settlements united to form the colony of Connecticut. Key figure: Thomas Hooker is often referred to as the "Father of Connecticut." A Puritan minister who left Massachusetts over religious disagreements, Hooker led his congregation through the wilderness to establish Hartford. His emphasis on democratic principles of governance greatly influenced the creation of the Fundamental Orders of Connecticut, which became one of the earliest examples of a constitutional government. Section 3. The Fundamental Orders of 1639, a foundation for democracy. In 1639, Connecticut adopted the Fundamental Orders, a document that established a representative government based on the will of the people. Often cited as the first written constitution in America, it allowed for a governor and a general court to be elected annually by the male citizens of the colony. This marked a significant step towards the idea of a self-governing, democratic society. Significance: the Fundamental Orders not only laid the groundwork for Connecticut's political structure but also influenced the development of the United States Constitution more than a century later. Connecticut's commitment to the principles of liberty and representative government earned it the nickname the Constitution State. Section 4. The Pequot War and its long-term effects. The Pequot War left a lasting impact on the region, marking the first significant conflict between Native Americans and European settlers in New England. The war not only led to the near destruction of the Pequot tribe but also altered the power dynamics among the remaining Native American tribes, with the Mohegan tribe emerging as a more dominant force allied with the English. Impact: this conflict cleared the way for English expansion along the Connecticut River, contributing to the rapid development of towns and agriculture. The settlers took control of fertile lands previously held by the Native Americans, expanding the colony's economic base and agricultural output. The war also set a grim precedent for future Native American-European relations in New England. Section 5. Connecticut's role in the American Revolution, 1775 to 1783. During the American Revolution, Connecticut played a crucial role as a supplier of troops and materials. Known as the Provision State, Connecticut provided the Continental Army with food, clothing, and munitions. The state's ports, particularly in New London, were vital hubs for privateers who disrupted British supply lines. Key figures. Two of Connecticut's most notable contributions to the war effort were Israel Putnam and Nathan Hale. Putnam, a Connecticut native, was a general in the Continental Army who famously fought at the Battle of Bunker Hill. Hale, also from Connecticut, is remembered as a Patriot spy who was captured and executed by the British. His famous last words, "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country," became legendary. Section 6. The Industrial Revolution, the rise of manufacturing in Connecticut. The 19th century brought the Industrial Revolution to Connecticut, transforming the state into a major manufacturing center. The availability of waterways for powering factories made Connecticut an ideal location for industries ranging from textiles to arms production. Key development. One of the most significant figures in Connecticut's industrial growth was Samuel Colt, whose invention of the Colt revolver revolutionized firearms production. Colt's factory in Hartford became a leading manufacturer of weapons, contributing to the state's economic boom and providing key materials during the Civil War. Other towns, such as New Haven and Bridgeport, also became centers for clockmaking, shipbuilding, and other industries. Economic impact. By the mid-1800s, Connecticut had one of the highest levels of industrial output in the country, providing jobs for thousands and helping to establish the state's reputation as a hub of innovation and manufacturing. Section 7. The Civil War and Connecticut's contribution, 1861 to 1865. When the Civil War broke out in 1861, Connecticut stood firmly with the Union. The state contributed tens of thousands of soldiers to the Union Army and became a vital supplier of war materials, including firearms, ammunition, and uniforms. Key event. One of the most significant regiments from Connecticut was the 29th Connecticut Infantry Regiment, an African-American unit that played a crucial role in the war. This regiment, made up of free African Americans and formerly enslaved men, fought bravely in several key battles, reflecting the growing struggle for civil rights even as the war raged. Legacy. Connecticut's contribution to the war effort helped to secure victory for the Union, and the state's industrial capacity continued to grow after the war, laying the foundation for its dominance in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Section 8. Immigration and urbanization, late 19th, early 20th century. The late 19th century saw a wave of immigrants coming to Connecticut, primarily from Ireland, Italy, and Eastern Europe. These immigrants settled in urban centers, such as Hartford, Bridgeport, and New Haven, where they found work in the state's booming factories. Urban growth. Cities like New Haven, home to Yale University, became cultural and intellectual centers, while Hartford flourished as the center of the state's insurance industry. Immigrants brought with them not only their labor but also their customs, languages, and traditions, enriching the cultural fabric of Connecticut. Challenges. Despite economic opportunities, the growing urban population faced significant challenges, including poor working conditions, overcrowded housing, and public health concerns. However, the rise of labor unions and reform movements helped to improve conditions for many workers over time. Section 9. World Wars and the Shift in Connecticut's Economy, 20th Century. Connecticut played a critical role in both World War I and World War II, providing the military with everything from aircraft engines to munitions. The state's industrial base proved vital to the Allied war effort, particularly in the production of submarines and aircraft parts. Key industry. Pratt & Whitney, based in East Hartford, became one of the world's leading manufacturers of aircraft engines during World War II, supplying the Allies with the technology that helped achieve victory. Post-war shift. After World War II, Connecticut's economy began to shift from manufacturing to service industries, particularly finance and insurance. While cities like Hartford continued to thrive, others experienced economic decline as factories closed, leading to challenges such as unemployment and urban decay. Section 10. Modern Connecticut. Political and social changes in the 21st century. In recent decades, Connecticut has undergone significant political and social changes. The state has been a leader in progressive movements, being one of the first states to legalize same-sex marriage in 2008. In addition, Connecticut has pioneered reforms in education, healthcare, and environmental policy. Modern challenges. Despite its reputation for wealth and high education levels, Connecticut faces significant challenges. Cities like Hartford and Bridgeport continue to struggle with poverty, crime, and infrastructure problems, even as the state's suburbs remain some of the wealthiest in the nation. Key institutions. Yale University remains a global center of research and education, and companies like United Technologies and General Electric maintain Connecticut's status as a leader in high-tech industries. Closing section. Connecticut's lasting legacy. Connecticut's history is rich with stories of innovation, conflict, and perseverance. From the first written constitution in America to its contributions during the Industrial Revolution and beyond, the state has played a central role in shaping the nation's history. Today, Connecticut continues to balance its historical roots with modern challenges and opportunities, ensuring its place as a leader in education, industry, and progressive values. Thank you for joining us on this expanded journey through Connecticut's history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical explorations of other fascinating states.